Hey, what's up, Ward Wrestling here, man? Another great show for you. We've got an unbelievable assistant coach, Arelys Valles, out of Grandview Wrestling, as you can see above me. She's been there a long time now, and we first interviewed her during COVID.
Yeah.
They've done a lot over there. I think they came in fifth this year in nationals, and but I mean, long time. 18 NAI All Americans, 30 All American Conference placers. They've done a a lot over there, and she still competes every once in a while, as you can see behind me there. So, and she's a Florida girl. So, what's happening? Thanks for coming on, Arelys. It's good to see you again.
Oh, thanks for having me back. Yeah, it popped up on my Snapchat story that we did an interview 4 years ago. I'm like, where are the odds that 4 years later, given that I went doing it?
Yeah, right at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I saw you out at Fargo last year. It was good to see you because
Yeah.
everybody's starting to get out and about again. It's been, yeah, I think COVID's behind us. I mean, I still don't understand. Sometimes I see people with a mask on, and I'm like, I think
COVID died. COVID died back in
COVID died. Yeah,
2020.
yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, I understand, like, if you're old or you have some issues, but to see a young, healthy person walking around with that, like, hey, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
But man, you guys are doing great out there. Got a great program, still up in the top five.
Yeah.
What's been going on? Are you taking girls out to the worlds? Are they going to compete elsewhere? What do you got planned this
Um,
summer?
well, our season just ended. Our last one ended in Spokane, Washington. We're hoping some of the girls would have qualified for the national team, but unfortunately, they didn't. I mean, they're all American though, but it's a stepping stone. No, our season right now is over. So the girls are just training right now and kind of enjoying summer, relaxing. It's a long season, so they need a small break.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I think everybody's taking a break. I know you see that happening. And now, well, it's always freestyle season for you guys, but we're
Yeah.
into freestyle and Greco season here. So we have the Spartan Nationals coming up. Are you you got plans to hit the recruiting trail? You're going to be out and about, or will we see you down here in Florida?
Oh, I need to make a trip down to Florida soon. Oh my gosh, yeah, I need to get more Florida girls out here. No, we were still recruiting. We're always recruiting. This recruiting never stops. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. We're always recruiting. No, I'm just doing a lot of camps. Just doing a lot of camps all over the country. Whoever calls me and asks me to come out. And that's where my kind of recruiting comes in place right now.
Yeah, I see your camp sizing graphics coming around with all your girls and camps you guys are doing. And now it's pretty cool. I'm starting to see girls that you had on the show during COVID, and we're starting to see them going out into the world, and they're becoming head coaches and assistant coaches, and they're getting into programs, and it's really cool to see. I mean, is it good to, you must be happy to see your girls get out there and grow and start to become their own people. I saw one of them last year. She was with, is it the team Iowa? She was out at Fargo. Oh man, blonde haired girl from
I'm in Iowa. It's a bunch of blondes we have on team.
no, it's Iowa, Montana. She was from a small town. I can't remember her name.
Uh,
Terrible. She's
there's
gonna be
many.
so she's gonna be so angry with me. But yeah, I saw her out in Fargo coaching her state team. So it was really cool to see those girls and get to see them growing up and doing their
Yeah.
thing. Uh, man, she comes up on my Instagram all the time. I'm getting old. My memory's bad. But so talk about this season. You guys had a really good season. It looked like you guys um, finished in the top five in a lot of events you guys took place in. How'd it go this year?
It went really good. We had a really solid team. Yeah, season went really good. I said, there was some hiccups on the way. National duels we took six, so it was tough. The matches that we lost was always came down to those bonus points. But we finished. We placed at national duels. That's always the goal. Always placing. You always want to win it. But yeah, we won our fourth conference title. That's awesome. We qualified all our girls to national qualifier. There was a couple hiccups at nationals. Some things shouldn't have happened, but you know what? It is what it is. We end up getting fifth. So there's a lot back and forth on that one. But that's our whole another day.
Yeah, yeah. What do you do? The NAI has really started to grow since you and I were on 4 years ago. I mean, you're
Yeah.
seeing girls teams pop up all around the
Yeah.
country, and starting to get a lot of competition coming in. I know you grew up down here in Florida, and you grew up in a time where you had to wrestle boys. You made it to the boys state tournament. Um, how much has it evolved for the girls in the sport since, you know, girls your age were competing in high school and even younger?
No, it's grown so much, especially like when like I have Florida girls on the team. So when they talk to me about their state now, I'm just like, dang, that was not the experience I had. And I had conversations of like, what did you wrestle? I'm like, wrestle state, but wasn't next to the guys, it was nothing like that. It was just at a high school. You showed up, you paid $20, you wrestle one day and call it a day. They're like, what?
Now they're in the big show.
Yeah, so it's nice. I love hearing it, especially have the Florida girls and talk to me about it. I love seeing the growth of it. It's like all the opportunities they have, and they have so much more opportunities. Like I don't regret nothing. I don't regret my path. But wrestling guys, the path that was on, I appreciate, maybe the person I am today. But I love the fact that I see how much opportunity the girls have. Like they have so much opportunity, and I'm happy the ones that are taking advantage of it. And I always tell them, like, dude, take advantage of this. Take advantage. You guys have so much more opportunities than I sure did. So I try to help them any way I can. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you because I remember speaking to the girls back then coming to COVID who came through boys programs, and they would say that it was a big adjustment to adjust to wrestling only girls because with the boys they attacked a lot of legs, and then with the girls you don't want to attack legs and hips, you want to attack kind of upper body because their legs and hips are stronger, so they
yeah.
really had to learn to adjust and make different things happen. Would you still recommend girls get out there sometime and wrestle with the boys, or if there's enough girls in the program and there's enough girls events going on, just do that?
I don't see an issue. Maybe I'm a little like biased because I've wrestled the guys my whole life, so I
Right.
don't have an issue
Yeah.
with it. But I still have girls. I say throughout the club, I have girls. I say they wrestle the guys, and I don't see an issue with it. Like wrestling guys every once in a while. It's always if you have opportunity to wrestle a girl, of course, makes it a lot more easier. Not easier, but like same strength and all that. But and there's a guy that doesn't mind rolling around with you. I don't see the issue with it. Like I found a lot of benefit when I wrestle guys at all times. Like I'm used to their strength. I'm used to being more like how to be more physical with them. So that really helped me a lot when I switch over, wrestling women because I'm so used to being physical with the guys. So, but no, they have guys that knows how to wrestle with the female because there are some guys that will try to hurt the female. So if there's some that that can play around with you, roll with you, yeah, go for it. Yeah, some of our girls and guys that roll around with each other, and the guys are pretty good with the girls. They know their weight, they know their strength, and they give them a good feel. So as long as the guy can't give the girls a good feel and not try to injure them, why not? Every once in a while doesn't hurt. I'm all about it.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, ha- Another thing I wanted to ask over the it seems like kids are, when I would talk to girls and boys coaches 4 years ago or whenever in COVID, a lot of kids were coming to college, but unless they were the elite, they weren't really ready for that level, right? They really had to learn top and bottom, and they really had to get the feels and get stronger and do all that. It seems like we're seeing kids that are more college ready. Is that what you guys are seeing too when they come into the room?
Yeah, a lot now. You're seeing a lot more girls with freestyle background. You're starting to see that a lot more because before you had girls coming in who was like, I have no freestyle background. Now you have girls saying, yeah, I wrestle a little bit of freestyle. So you do see them getting more exposed to it. It's a lot more, I could say, a lot more welcoming. So at first you were like, no, I don't want to do freestyle. They're very adamant about doing freestyle. Now I see a lot of them are getting used to it. But I don't know, even the girls who come in who never wrestled freestyle, they, I don't know, at least in our room, they picked up very quickly. I know the favorite part is not getting up from bottom. They love that one. I don't blame them. I'm like, I don't gotta get up either. I got the stand ups.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I know on the boys' side, I remember, Daniel got to college and he was like, they would put him on bottom and say, you can't go to class until you get up. And he's like, man,
Yeah.
I couldn't move because obviously at that level, you need to get off the bottom, right? So they're really
Yeah.
tough on him there. So you had to learn. But that's cool. When do you recommend that girls start freestyle? I know we see a lot of the young girls.
Oh,
D-
anytime now during the summer. Once in season ends, once you get a postseason, start freestyle now. I have 5-year-olds in my club that's doing freestyle. Like we have our postseason, which is like our summer spring. Oh, we're doing freestyle. Any age from K to 12, you're doing freestyle.
That's awesome. So we saw, was it New York that turned all the girls' high school to
Yeah.
freestyle?
Yep,
Do
yep.
you think that, and I don't know, you probably have your ear to the ground better than I do on that side. Does it sound like this will kind of go into other states? Do you think we'll start to see other states do it?
I don't know. I've heard some back and forth. Some schools are like, heck yeah, let's switch over, and some are kind of like, There's kind of like some back and forth. I think because like some coaches don't have like the freestyle knowledge of it, so they're more like, no, let's just do folk side. They know the rule more, which it makes sense. I get that part. Even especially now with folk style rules keep changing up. I'm just kind of like, oh crap, like, what's the rules? Now you said old rules, so I could maybe next couple years I could see some states switching over. I could see that.
It seems, and then some girls, some of the high level girls you talked about, like, you know what? They're high level at freestyle too, but they're like, I kind of like doing folk style too. It's kind of cool. Like, and I know I'm not going to have it forever because once I'm out of high school, there's no girls folk style tournaments
Yeah.
anymore. But they kind of like the getting in there and fighting, you know?
Yeah. Oh no,
Is that
I was done folk style. Oh no. It's been 11 years. I only do it during the fall and winter during club. That's the only time I do it. Once it hits spring, back to freestyle. I was never good at stand-ups from getting up from bottom.
it's as a photographer, I during the season I get used to the folk style moves, you know, because now I've learned to see that stuff. But then I go all summer with Fargo and all the national tournaments, and now I'm getting used to seeing a gut coming or seeing a lace coming or seeing a throw. And I'm like, I get back to folk style season and I'm just messed up. I got to recalibrate
Yeah.
myself. Uh, it's cool. Well, you see, obviously when the NAI has grown, so are you starting to see the conferences get bigger, the competition get better, the opportunities are more grand for girls and really to get out to college and really have the sport to do it. And then what makes Grandview one of the top 5 programs in the country? It seems like we know what the boys side does, right? We've known that for
Yeah.
years. But the girls seem to be up in the top ranked teams. You know, what makes them so good and why should I choose Grandview as the place I want to go?
Yeah, no, for sure. The NIA has grown a lot because it started back in, what was it, 2018, 2019 when we first started NAIA. And it was like less than 30 program or something along those lines. So for sure has grown a lot. Like, especially when I started back in 2013, when it was WCWA. So it has massively grown over the years. And no, and especially now with NAIA, yeah, it's getting bigger consistently. More teams are coming out. Conferences are getting tougher. I know we have one tough conference in the heart. Yeah, it keeps getting tougher, and girls have a lot more opportunities too. They have a lot more opportunities. But yeah, no, yeah, Grandview, it's like I said, like the men's side and the culture is very similar. Coach Crinzy, the head coach, he went to the men's program, and the culture still carried on over here. But with the girls on our team, as long as you're coachable and you're a hard worker, like that's gonna come in place. Like we have girls that come in, they were never Fargo placers. They never won Fargo. They were just your typical high school wrestler, that place in that one state in their state. But they came in very coachable. Whereas we have a bunch of girls who are just coachable, who are hungry, that are eager, and like you see it. You see it like
Yeah.
in the room. And the room is brutal.
And listen, so tell me this. You guys pulled off one of the greatest gets in the country this year. I mean, I didn't see it coming, but you guys were able to get Sofia Delgado. And this
Yeah.
girl could compete on any level, anywhere in the country. And she signed with you guys. I think a lot of expectations were to see her going to an NCAA school or seeing her go to a top level program that we see coming up, right? And he signed with Grandview. good for her. I love her. Love her family. I think her little sister is great and going to be an absolute hammer as well. And just one of my favorite families in the state. But man,
Yeah, she was a good
you
pickup.
still
I remember I was reaching out to her a lot. Actually, who helped a lot was you're Madison Diaz from Florida,
yes,
the Diaz
yep.
family. So she was really close. I know Madison worked very hard to get her to come back because they're close. And yeah, that was a huge pickup to get her. We were so happy to get her done. I was talking to her in the fall, and I was like, oh, what's her plans? Madison's like, oh no, I'm gonna get her to come here. No, her mom came out, her dad, all of them are super sweet. Yeah, no, she fit right in. She fit right in. She liked the culture, the coaching style. She made a good fit coming here, and we're very excited for her. We have high expectation. But no, her mom were just typical Cuban family. So of course I clicked very quickly. No, we're excited. She came in the room, she worked out with the team, and just watching her wrestle, I'm like, she's gonna fit right in. And it's nice because Madison graduated, so Sophia came in picking that spot up.
Oh, and listen, there's no question I wouldn't be surprised if it would not surprise me at all if that girl picks up a couple national titles for you guys. I mean, she's an awesome young lady and she never stops working and she's really hungry and
Yeah,
I'm happy to see her go to a good place and
we're excited to have
for
her. Yeah, we're excited.
good for her. Yeah, I was like, wow, what a steal that was for Grandview. Man, good job, Grandview.
And that's another Florida girl. Hey, I said all the Florida
Yeah.
girls we have, they're just mean and they're just tough. You can't teach that. You can't teach that meanness. Hey, you can teach
No.
technique. And it's one thing. Shorty has a toughness. Picking up more technique with our style. Dude, I have no doubt. Like I said, we're taking it year by year, day by day. You know what? She comes out, winning multiple titles. Heck yeah. But we're gonna taking it day by day. But I know she's hungry. We saw her dad out of Spokane. Her little sister was competing, and now she's like, okay, she's one of those girls that's gonna want to compete at everything, at all the U20, U23, seniors. I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, she doesn't quit, I mean, her fight, I remember, last year she was a junior at Fargo the year before a cadet, right? And man, the year before she had wrestled, I don't know, for 6 months. I mean, obviously she was a huge in the jiu-jitsu world, right? She's won several gold medals and she's awesome there. She had wrestled. I mean, this girl was going through everybody. I mean, it was unbelievable to watch her run at Fargo and watch her fight. And she knew, when she got to that after Fargo, she knew she had to work on her wrestling technique, right? Because her fight and her grit got her to All-American and got her to wrestle on the stage.
Yeah.
And when she hit the top wrestlers in the country who knew how to rest, the skills and had technique, that's where it kind of happened for her. But she was mad, she was crying, she was upset. You could see that she really wanted to get back there and just be great. So good for her and good for you because they're awesome.
And those girls who have like little experience, oh, those are deadly ones because they'll start picking up everything. They're just hungry. So if she has that short mount, oh, she's gonna pick up all technique here so quickly. And say we're big on technique. Like I said, all the girls that been here, they pick everything up.
And obviously she went back and got the technique. I mean, she went out and I think she spent time with Verona the summer before season last year. And obviously he's one of the best freestyle coaches in the country, right? And to get a chance to spend time with him, you could really see the growth in her, right? And she's just awesome. And obviously being down in South Florida with those clubs down there, she's obviously getting good work.
Oh yeah, they don't hold back down there. They're even tough.
No. Good for her, man. Anybody do you want to release any other names that you're going to sign or
those will pop up. There's a couple names going to be popping up we're working on, but you know what? Yeah. As a veteran, we don't talk about that kind of stuff. We don't talk. We just train and we compete. We let the girls do all the talking. Let their actions. Yeah. I said, action speaks louder than words, and that's just how we are. We're a very humble team, and
yes, you guys good in there. It's funny. Remember, through COVID, I would ask you guys like, "Hey, your favorite food, or your favorite this, or your favorite that," and you guys and I would always talk about this breakfast pizza, and you would always talk about this pork loin sandwich or whatever. The where you go everywhere and it's like this big, and And obviously, you being Cuban, you get the fried steak with the papa fritas and the bread.
Hmm.
So you kind of came with your own version of that. Because I remember growing up in Miami, I'd go to my friend's house when I was in high school, and his mom would always have steak and rice on French fries, and you're like, "But that works. I'm in, right?" And
Yeah.
but yeah, so I finally got to Iowa the summer before Daniel graduated, summer for senior year. So I got to go try that breakfast pizza. It's pretty damn good. I enjoyed it, right? And then I tried that big pork sandwich. But you guys have them everywhere. It's like you go into any
Yeah.
gas station, any restaurant, and there's a big pork sandwich. But
Pork tenderloin.
there was a place that you guys used to tell me about. It was like a milkshake in Grandview or something. There's a place right off of Grandview. You guys used to talk about like they had the best
Is it
milkshakes and stuff.
zombie burger?
Yeah, because I would ask burger or
Yeah,
and they were like
zombie
only.
burger is a Des Moines staple. So it's like all Halloween. Like you go in, there's all Halloween theme. Year round Halloween. The burgers are based off horror movies. I don't know. I was kind of like when I first got there, I'm like, what is this? It's
Whoa.
cool. It's pretty cool.
What?
Yeah, and have like special burgers of the week or like the day. And we went there just like I think last week or this week we went just for lunch just to go. And the head coach got like the special for that day. That thing wasn't a burger, it was a creature. It was coming out. I was like, what the heck is this? You can't finish this. I'm like,
You've been
whoever's
up there.
cooking this.
You've been at Grandview now how many years? Well, it's got to be 5 years, something like that,
I
right?
just finished my 5th year. Yeah, I'm entering season
Fifth year.
6.
Wow, it's awesome. So when you have a young lady like Sophia come up, were you already able to say, "Hey, I've got this little Cuban spot I found in Iowa. It's right over here. We can get the coladas, we can get the little paparenas and the empanadas and the croquettes," or does that not exist out in the Midwest?
There is, I did found one little hole in the wall Cuban restaurant. It's not bad, but I'm used to my mother. I'm used to homemade, so it's
Uh,
kind of like it's not bad, when you're here, but it can't beat home. I
uh,
was actually giving Sophia and her mom crap when they came. I was like, "You guys came out to Iowa, they didn't bring me no croquetas, no
yeah.
pasteles.
Well,
You guys came out
yeah,
to
down
bakery."
down here, you walk into Publix now, and they're selling them at the bakery.
Well, I'm in the process of gonna make my own croquetas. I already looked it up. I was like, oh, it's not that hard to make. I was like, well, it's summer. I'm gonna
We're
try to
getting
make some.
That's
Maybe
awesome.
some.
Yeah, nothing like they don't serve you the picadillo with the fried egg on it. You can't find that natural Cuban stuff up there, huh?
No, I told my parents like, when you guys retire, you guys should just come up here and start a restaurant. You guys aren't a little
Oh,
bit. I think it's a good idea, but my parents will not survive in the cold. That's not happening.
no, yeah, you're like, come on, we need a little coffee spot.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have my coffee machine. Trust me, I have it right here too. I have
There's
that came
nothing,
with me.
nothing like Cuban coffee, man.
That came
Those
with
little
me.
cups, it's like Cuban
Oh no, I just
drugs,
need the
man.
whole cup at this point. I just need the whole thing in. Call it a day. No, I get my subscription every 3 months from Amazon. My coffee comes in.
That's fantastic. Well, man, it's always good talking to you. I'm so happy we got back together. And hey, and if any of your girls or your coaches want to come on, I'm always happy to talk to them and chat with them. And I can't wait. So are you going to be in Grandview for just the girls part of it, or I mean in Grandview in Fargo for just the girls part of it, or will you be there for the boys too?
Most like just the girls. Just I'm recruiting the girls, so it's kind of like my
Yeah,
attention.
no, just
Because
because I'm usually there at the beginning, but I'm not going to get there probably till about 3 days into it because of Pan Am's at the same time. So I get to go down there and do that. Well, the first part, the whole Pan Am is like the first 3 days of Fargo. So it's going to be a long month for me. I'm going to go to Peru and then come home and then go to Fargo. So uh, it's going to be exciting. But hopefully we cross paths and I get to see you up in Fargo. If not, maybe I'll see you when you're in town.
I said I'll be back. I just gotta go back home during summer. At some point, I gotta go down there and visit the family and everybody else. But no, yeah, no, so I'll be at Fargo. Yeah, so mostly just for the girls. Cause we have some incoming freshmen competing. Course recruiting is always happening, so we'll be out there at some point. Can't
And
lose
she's
me.
not going. She's not going home for the family. She's going home for the beach and the Cuban cafes.
Oh, and I'm going home for my mother. I already told my mom already
My
knows. I'm home for 2 weeks. Every year I go home for 2 weeks. I always give her a text her all the meals I want. I want this one, this one. I don't care what order. But she always asks me, going, like, hey, what do you want? And I usually the order is pretty much the same. So I'm excited. She's actually coming out to both our parents are coming out in August for the first time.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Good for you.
I was just like, oh
Yeah,
we are
that's like when my sister-in-law is going to see my well, they live down in St. Pete, so it's not too far, a couple hours, right? Um, but when she's coming up, she always asks her dad to make her arroz con pollo because she loves his arroz con pollo with the gandules and all that stuff, the little pumpkin. So yeah,
Oh yeah. Yes,
you
because
know, so I'm sure you do the same thing.
oh yeah, I try to cook like our mom, but I said I was getting mad. Like, it don't taste like yours. She's like, Anita, it's not always gonna taste like I don't care. I want it to taste like yours. So when
It
I go
happens.
home, I go out. I see my brother when he comes to visit my parents. He goes home with Tupperware of food. Like my mom has to make extra, and she did the same thing to me.
That's awesome.
When I was in college, she used to make stuff for me to take back to college with me.
Oh, my father-in-law knows. We went to Puerto Rico with him in June, last June. And we would go around, and if I was like, man, I want an empanada, right? And he would look in the place. He goes, no, that shit, that's frozen. Nope, that one frozen. This one, make it fresh. This one, make it fresh. And I'm like, how the hell do you know that? And he goes, look at the dough. Look at the way it's fried. You see how this one has a bubble? You see how this one? I'm like, okay, oh, good. He's like, yeah, you don't want that shit. This is better. I'm like, all right. Yeah, they know. The parents know.
Oh yeah, trust me. Our parents, they know too. Well, I guess actually we all know too. You can look at it because I go to a bakery, you can tell it's what, but yeah, no.
Well, good for you, and seems like you're doing great up there. And obviously, you found a home being there this long. So, good for you. Hope to see you there a lot longer, and keep doing what you do. And it's always good to see you.
Always good to see you too. Okay, thanks for